Hi you guys. I asked you guys last week, primarily on TikTok, which next time I'll mention it in the previous video, but I asked you guys if you had any questions for me because I kind of want to do like a Q&A this week. I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of like about doing it just because I'm like, well, I don't feel like I've grown enough to where I'm at a point where people are gonna have all these questions for me, you know, because if my comment sections are a little quiet, then where like people aren't asking me questions. I just have to put my hair up real quick. You know, like whenever you feel like those days where it's just like your hair is just not doing it for you, that's how I am right now, and it's making me sad. Okay, so yeah, I didn't know if I wanted to do it just because I'm like, not a lot of people are gonna have, who just texted me? These are, oh, anyways. Not a lot of people are gonna have questions for me, but I did get a few off of TikTok, so I kind of just want to go through them. I won't rant as much as I usually do, I promise. But yeah, let's get into it. I have my coffee too, because I can't do this sober. I thought I just spilled. This is not a good combination. Okay, I have them all on my phone, so I'm just gonna go through one by one. I'm not gonna do like smaller questions versus like harder questions. I'm literally just going to do it how I see it. So, and I'll do these again too, so in case like I screenshotted them, in case I somehow missed one, sorry, I'll do it again. Where the fuck are they? Okay. So we have favorite STL play. Oh, I'll start that one later on, sorry. How do I plan content? So I get into weird modes to where, you know, I'm really like, okay, you know what, I want to be like this organized girl and plan everything out, because you see so many social media managers being like, you need to have like a content planner or plan out your feed aesthetic or just like have stuff like scheduled, like you need to be more technical with it. And I will get into spurs of being that girl, and I will try to do it, but that is just like I fall off so easily. So what I've been doing, this is what I've been doing lately. I've been looking more at my analytics. So if I see a few content styles or videos that have gotten a lot of exposure, I'm like, okay, how can I recreate these? So from then I'm like, that's how I can kind of make up some ideas. And from there I'm like, okay, so maybe on Monday I'll post that one. Like I'll put it in my notes pad. I'm like, maybe on Monday I'll post that one. And then maybe on Wednesday I'll post this one, or you know, so I kind of just, I don't do it, what the fuck, stop. So I kind of am a little bit organized with it, but then I also kind of wing it at the same time, because there's other times too where, you know, it's a Monday and I want to post something, but I don't really have anything like scheduled. I'll literally just think of something right off the bat then and there and post it, you know? So it really does vary. I just kind of come up with ideas as I go along, put them in my notes pad, and then when I don't have really anything that I filmed yet, I'll look at that note and see the ideas and kind of go from there. I hope that helps. I noticed too that on the weekends is when I do a lot better, because I think, you know, more people are on their phone. It's not so like, you know, on a Monday everyone's like at work to where it's kind of like it could be a little stagnant. I feel like just on the weekends I do better somehow. So pro tip, maybe. How and when I started social media. So I actually started social media, oh gosh, it's kind of interesting because before TikTok, I liked doing, and this is kind of funny, I was on Instagram. And I think because of college, I slowly started getting really into fitness in a very toxic way, but that's like a whole different story. And I made my own separate Instagram account. I forgot what the name of it was. It was something really cheesy. And I had my own little Finsta. And I started, you know, posting like my workout videos and filming myself at the gym. And there was like, the quality was terrible. The text on screen, it was like big bubble letters of bicep, tricep day. Like it was just so cheesy. And from there, I like would tag companies and like Quest Nutrition, for example. I'm like, they would send me stuff. I was part of like their ambassador program, and I just liked posting like pre-workouts that I was using, because I still like that stuff now to a different, like in a different sense though. I have a different relationship with it now. But that's how I got into it, I guess, kind of. I never made any money off of it, but that's how I kind of got my toes wet in terms of like promoting on social media. So from then on, when I went to college, I still kind of did that, or after college I did it for a little bit. Then during quarantine, kind of fast forwarding, during quarantine, I don't really know what, I think because TikTok slowly became popular, and I think a lot of the content was faceless content of people just like showing products, their where they live, or just aesthetic stuff and dances. Like, it was very fun. I slowly started just posting about beauty, not even with like my face as much. I would do trending sounds a lot, but I just like showing like current makeup routine and then doing a 15-second video of just like the makeup I had, because I love just showing the products and the stuff that I have. Like, I don't know why. Once I started getting more into makeup and skincare, I'm like, these products are so cute. Like, I just love creating cute little videos with it. So that's why I started getting into TikTok. And then I kind of learned a lot about myself through posting, because I went from posting like strictly beauty to then using trending sounds, and doing like point of view content and a lot of stuff. Like, my views then were like, I went viral a lot back then, because that's what was popular back then. Now it's much harder. So then now I'm actually posting things that like directly like not like relate to me, but like, you see me, I'm talking to you guys, know about my life, like, you know how I feel, you know what I like, versus just like, here's my current makeup routine, only showing like the products. You know, so then from there on, I've kind of like switched in so many different ways. I swear I switch like how I post and what I like to post like every month, just because, you know, we're all evolving, we're all growing, especially like within the app too. You kind of go with what you know, but also try out new things. So that was a lot. Okay, I've had another question with that, so I'm glad I answered both those questions. Okay, how do I balance social anxiety in my daily life / content? Like, was talking on camera ever difficult for you, and if so, how did you overcome it? I mean, definitely if I get social anxiety or just anxiety in general, that definitely stops me from posting. But sometimes it almost motivates me in a way to where, like, if I feel anxious, you know, if I feel really passionate about it, or if I feel something really deep in that moment, and I've done this before, I'll post like a video. And I remember one time my boyfriend and I broke up, and this video went viral. I was in my car in the gym, and I was just so anxious, and this might make me cry, because like, it's just like weird seeing myself then versus now. And I was just in my car, and I was just missing him so much. I just started bawling in my car. And I know this is cheesy to do, like, oh, take a video of yourself crying, fuck off. But I took a video of myself crying, and I like put on there, like, I don't really know what the line was. Maybe I can try and find it. But it was something just like me, like, saying like, you know, when like your life is like so different than what it used to be now, or like you're not your anxiety, or it was like something really like, I'm gonna look up Sophia Marin anxiety on here. Oh, here it is. Girl, get a hold of yourself. But the thing was, remember, being in a healing stage doesn't mean you stop feeling sad and every day gets better. Some days are hard. Never blame yourself for feeling and breaking down. It's not a setback, it's you getting stronger. I got almost 600,000 views on that one. But I feel like, so getting back to what I was saying, sometimes when I feel anxiety, it kind of helps me in a way to share that with you guys, in some sort of way. It doesn't have to always be me crying, but sometimes I do like to talk about it. Or there's days where I feel anxiety, you know, I'm feeling really hard on myself, I don't want to post, that's totally fine. I weirdly feel like when I'm anxious, I don't struggle with talking on camera. I almost struggle more with talking in person, because like on camera, I feel like I'm FaceTiming my friend, so it's easier for me to just like talk about how I feel. And it's almost like when I'm talking to someone on camera, they're not talking back, so I'm just like, it's like I'm telling my therapist who's just listening, you know? So I've never felt like it's, which is weird, because I can talk on camera and like say the weirdest shit, but in person I am more reserved. I'm like loud and outgoing, but to certain people. Like, you know, if I like you, if I'm outgoing towards you, okay, we get it. Anyways, would like to know if you recommend having your content creator Instagram account separated from a personal one, or just have one. I personally just have one. Honestly though, sometimes I do wish that I had created another one. Not even really having two though. I just almost wish I'd created a whole other one, like deleted my current one. I had a whole other one and just followed some people, because I have a lot of people on my current Instagram that are from like high school and college that aren't necessarily really in that world, which I'm not saying they need to be, but I feel like majority of my following on Instagram is like hometown people, and then like a little bit of like brands and influencers and stuff. So I kind of wish if I could, I mean, I guess I could start a whole new one, follow some people, because like, no offense, I'm not friends with, I have one good group of high school friends, not really so much college. So it's just like, I'm too lazy, but I wish I could unfollow a lot of the people that I didn't really care about. That way my account's solely on people that like support me and really care and that I'm friends with, and like other creators. So I would say, like, if you haven't put that much work into your Instagram, honestly, and like you do have a lot of followers that are like personal, it could, like, you might as well, like, it would be a cool idea to just completely start new and just to like follow and have people follow you that like are supporting you, you know, not people who followed you since 2010, you know. That's actually a good idea though. Apartment tour. I will post an apartment tour soon. There's still a lot that I want to do with this apartment, so it's like me showing a full apartment tour. It's not like I'm not proud of it. I'm not necessarily proud of it. Like with that PR and office room that I have, there's so many things I want to put in there. I'm just being really picky, and I'm like trying to save money too at the same time. So it's like, when you want to buy furniture, when you want to spend money on decorations, but I'm like, I just don't want to be spending like $100 on a rug right now or messing with that. So I'm just doing it pieces by pieces, and I will do one soon, because there's like a lot of things I even hate in my apartment right now too. So I'm just like I need to get on it for sure. What do I do for work? So I work in customer service for, like, I'm not trying to like be too general, but I don't want to just say it, for a finance tech company that most people have heard of. I work with like Bitcoin, so I just do customer service with that. So I work remote. I can go in office, but I choose to work at home. So basically my day-to-day is just on my laptop, like doing live messaging, but also emailing customers. So it's pretty easy, but then there's a lot that comes with it, just because when you're working with like Bitcoin, there's a lot of different like changes, updates to a lot of things that I won't go and more into. I mean, customer service is customer service, so it can be a lot all day, every day, but I do like it. I do like the people that I work with. It's a good company. How did I meet Dalton, my boyfriend? I won't rant about this. So it was September of 2022, 21, 22. No, it was 21. It was off of Hinge, and I'm trying to think. Right before we started talking, I was like in my single era. I think I was just like enjoying it. And then I was always re-downloading and deleting Hinge. And I remember downloading it, and I saw this guy on here, and his profile picture, it's just funny because seeing his profile picture on Hinge versus how he is now, it's just like two different people. Not even looks wise, just like personality wise. Because when I saw this picture, I was like, like Dalton, I think at the time it was like 32. You know, he like had like this like not uniform on, but it was a photo of him like after a marathon or like a run. So like he was like right after the run, he had like the tank top on with like the number, and he was like holding up, like, I don't know whether he was doing his fingers, like, I don't know, but it was just like a very like, and he's gonna make fun of me for this. Maybe no, I won't put it on here because he'll get mad at me. But it was very like, yeah. So I saw that, and I was like, who is this guy? Because first of all, like, he's like 6 years older than me, and I'm like, I even posted on like my private Instagram story, I was like, you guys, I think I just matched with the hottest guy alive on Hinge. So we matched. Fast forward, we talked a little bit. We made a plan to like go on a date, but it didn't work out because it was like too last minute. So we made a plan B, and we're like, do you just want to go to a movie? Which I would not advise going on a movie as a first date. Trust me, it wasn't part of the plan. So I was like, okay, fuck it, like, why not? It was like a Tuesday night or something. So we went to this movie, and we really hit it off. Like, we were both so comfortable with each other when we met, and I know we didn't get a good chance to talk during the movie, but it was just like, it felt just very like, hey, what's that, like, just, I don't know, there was just something about it. So then we really hit it off, and then we were inseparable, like, right after that, like, always hanging out. We were making plans right off the bat. We got too, I feel like we rushed things a little bit at first, and then, you know, from then on, like, things got right. Like, just my relationship tip, I feel like now, due to my past, is sometimes taking things a little too fast, even when it feels good in the moment, can backfire. And we won't get into that, but we've had like our ups and downs to where we've had breakups, but now we're back together and we've been good for a very long time. So Hinge, honestly, that's how I met a lot of people prior to him. And St. Louis, if you live in a small area, it's big but small, everyone knows everyone here, to where it was a breath of fresh air because he wasn't originally from here. So it wasn't like, oh, I was meeting this guy and I know a few of his mutual friends who work with these people who know these people. Like, we went to the same high school. You know, it wasn't any of that in St. Louis. Literally the tagline here is, what high school did you go to? Because it kind of like says a little bit about you, what high school you went to, like what area you lived in, what you like to do, probably what your parents do. Like, it was this whole like persona depending on what high school you went to, which is weird, but whatever. So it was a breath of fresh air that he didn't live here. So going from there, I was just like, you know, you're learning about a whole different person, like their whole different backstory. It wasn't the same backstory of, oh, we went to this high school and then I went to Mizzou and then I work in finance. Like, it wasn't, no, like, he is into cinematography. He works with like a big coffee company that's like here. That's really cool. It's just like how he grew up. Like, it's just like, I was so intrigued with his life and I love his family. Like, it's just been really good getting to know someone who's very similar to me, and it's like a breath of fresh air, but also really, really, really different from me. It's like taught me a lot. Favorite small businesses or restaurants in your hometown, and then there's another question that says favorite STL places. In terms of food for St. Louis, my top favorites, and I'll link them too. We're huge, like Dalton and I, we love to go out to eat. So when we do, pizza is probably our go-to, like pizza or Italian. So we love for pizza, like Pizzeria de Gloria. We love, what is it called? Vito's. Vito's is a really good one. Any sort of like brick oven style pizza, that's what we always will try and get. We also love barbecue, so Pappy's, Salt and Smoke. We love sushi, so there's a really good sushi place. If I think of it, I'll put it in the comments. I always forget it, but we're big sushi people. And then we're huge breakfast people too, so like Bowwood by Niche is really good. Honestly, like, I even like the chain places like First Watch, like, and too, like, we'll go out to like Shake Shack. Like, we're not really picky. We are, but then we're not. I personally like, there's this one place like King Thai and I think it's called. Like, I love Thai food. Honestly, I love all kinds of food. Like, there's a place, I think it's still open, like Lulu's Local Eatery, a really good place with like, I think it's like rice paper wraps. I literally can't think of the name. I'm gonna look it up real quick. Lily's rice paper STL. Lona's Lil Eats, that's what it is. They have the best like rice paper wraps, so good. But yeah, I'm not super picky on food. I don't really like greasy food. Like, I will love to get like a burger and fries sometimes, but I prefer, like, I love trying new different kinds of like healthy foods too. So like, I like going to vegan places and trying just like weird stuff. Okay, next question. Favorite ways to spend my free time. So honestly, I'm like a hermit crab too, which I'm trying to get better at it. I could spend my whole life by myself. But like on my weekends, I'm kind of more of a hermit crab because that's when I like to do a lot of like my hobbies. Because if I'm not working, I'm like, after work, I just chill out for the rest of the night. I don't really get to do like my hobbies or things I like to do. And I always like to do stuff during the day. Like, I love it when it's just sunny out, the sun's shining in my apartment, and I can just like do little things. Like, I love to bake. I've enjoyed sewing. Today I'm gonna try and sew a scrunchie or like make my own. So like just little quirky hobbies. So baking, I love watching movies, I love cooking, I love just like working out, going on walks, just like being outside, going to the park. I like to read. I'm trying to do more of it. I just like doing like the really independent, like cozy, soft things. Like I just bought a plant yesterday and I'm excited to, I named him Peter. I'm excited to go out and water him. Like just little things like that. That's how I like to spend my free time. Like having a slow morning with like my coffee. It's just, I feel like it's made me turn into like a grandma, a very shy grandma. But it's just like the little things that I'm like, oh my gosh, like I woke up and the sun's shining in my room. Like now I get to go make my breakfast and just like hang out and scroll on Pinterest, which is another hobby of mine. I just like creating content too, not even just to show people, but I just love taking like photos that like mean something to me. And I want to get really good at photography because I feel like, I don't know, like the more I've like slowed my life down, and this sounds cheesy, I like seeing the little things and like capturing the little things that people might not notice. So, you know, if a flower is bent some sort of way and it has like a really cool, pretty like shadow, like I like just capturing little things that I can look at it and like feel something, which sounds really cheesy. But aside from that, like, I don't know, like those, like my hobbies are hobbies that like I really partake in. So I don't have a whole list of hobbies, but my core hobbies are things that I do like religiously. Like, yeah, like by baking every week, by working out every single day, sewing a few times a week, or trying to read more, or going on Pinterest, or just creating things. Like that stuff I do weekly, if not every other day. So I'm a simple girl. Okay, and then last question, fun facts about me. Those are kind of some fun facts, but I feel like not a lot of people know this because I don't just go on TikTok saying like, here's who I am, you know what I'm saying? So some fun little facts about me. I graduated with a bachelor's degree in fashion merchandising, and then in marketing. So I have that little bit of like a background. I am the middle child. I have an older sister, a younger brother, and then a younger stepbrother. So it's the four of us. My parents used to live full-time in Italy and are staying half of the time in Florida now, half the time in Italy. So it's really exciting that I'm gonna get to have like a Florida house to get to go to, which I've like never have had that. Like I've always wanted like a parent that lives some, like them living in Italy was great, but it was always hard to visit because I can't just go to like Italy every other weekend. So them being in Florida is gonna be really exciting because it's gonna be like a place I can just go to, bring my laptop, work remote. I have two cats, you guys know, Bubba and Taz. I found Bubba outside a few years ago when I was working at a job. And then Taz, I got him like the Humane Society on a whim. Fun fact, when I got him, he was in like the box that they put him in, and he pooped everywhere in the box. So when I grabbed him out, my first encounter with him, well, first few encounters with him was me cleaning the poop off of his body. What else? I'm really good friends with like my high school group. That's kind of like my core group of friends. I've been into working out for quite some time. I want to get into like Pilates, but it is just kind of expensive. So I'm trying to see how I can do that. Maybe like with ClassPass or something. I'm just shooting these out. I'm half Italian and then half like a mix between Irish, German, and French. I feel like I look obviously more Italian than Irish. My mom's Italian, my dad is like the mix of Irish, German, and French. My mom's Sicilian, so I guess I am too. My middle name is Anne, which that was my Nana's middle name and my mom's middle name, so it's kind of in the family. I would love to have my daughter's middle name be Anne if I ever have a daughter. My favorite color. I used to say my favorite color was cream, but now I would say it's kind of like a soft pink, baby blue, butter yellow. Like I love the pastels. Also, I love like a dark, deep red and navy, so they're kind of all over the place. I would say too, like, people always ask like, oh, like what's your aesthetic? Or like you can probably tell what I like just from like watching like stuff I post on social media. I like just very cozy, cute, comforting things and very dainty. I think a lot of it too, which is kind of weird, and then I'm realizing this now more that I've like come into that lifestyle more, is that's kind of how my grandma used to be. So when I would visit like her, she has a lake house, and me and Dalton went not too long ago, I found a lot of like her fabrics and how she was really into sewing, and she had old antique things. Like I feel like I have a lot of like my grandma in me, and I feel like by me kind of doing things that she would, or liking some of the stuff that I knew she would, and like flowers, like that's kind of like me tuning into like roots that she planted. So I just like really soft things, and I feel like it's helped a lot with like my anxiety, which I've had anxiety since probably my sophomore year of college. I didn't really have a good experience in college. I should have talked about that, but no one asked me, so okay, then again, no one knew. So I have dealt with anxiety for quite a while. I've had my spurs of really like going through it and not knowing how to handle it, versus now being able to like overcome it and talk about it and to handle it in a better way. What are some other fun facts? I'm a Cancer. My birthday's in July. So with Cancer, we're sensitive, we're wise. I am very much a Cancer. I don't really believe in like zodiac signs and astrology, but I would say I'm definitely a Cancer. I am the most sensitive person ever. I literally had to buy a book like to handle my hypersensitivity because I didn't know how to handle it at some points. I cried a lot for literally, I went to Dobbs yesterday and I had to buy new tires, and when the guy told me the total, I was just so sad about it. I started crying in the bathroom. Like I just felt overwhelmed, which I guess that makes sense because you're spending a lot of money, but still, I just felt like he was like being mean to me. But yeah, those are some fun facts. I hope this was a good little Q&A. I want to do more of these because it's kind of nice to actually just talk about stuff that I don't really post about on TikTok, because I'm not just gonna sit there talking about my life. Like, who's gonna listen? So that's why I'm glad I was here. I was brought here to do it. I came to YouTube for it. So if you have any questions too, leave them in the comments. That's gonna be this week's, like, instead of like a home vlog, doing the Q&A. So if you have any other questions too, I'd love to do more Q&As. If you don't have any questions, totally fine, totally fine. But yeah, I hope you guys have a good week, and I will see you next week. Bye-bye. See you later.